Hey, good morning, you guys. Time for your health check. Look, I know that for pretty much everyone, including me, life has changed tremendously in the last month in particular. So maybe a little motivation for you, a little slice of normal life. Our 4 Fitter Together challengers have just completed their 12-week run. Let's see how they did. Our 8th Fitter Together Challenge started strong in January with Teresa, Orlando, Lauren, and DJLC working out at District Climb and Larry North Fitness.
A half hour doing this? Oh no. I can tell you right now, I don't even like this machine.
Each with a specific goal in mind. Teresa is a mom of 3 under age 4.
5 to 10 pounds, I think, is a realistic goal. I just really want to feel more energy, feel better about myself.
Double. Nice, Teresa.
She and her teammates kept up with intense VersaClimber workouts and personal training. They also committed to better food choices.
I made lunch today, just as accountability.
Lauren, a mom and newlywed, regularly posting about her homemade meals for our Fitter Together Facebook group. They're 6 weeks in to 12 weeks. Halfway into the 12-week challenge, we gathered for a check-in on Facebook Live. Orlando, who's 58, had already seen major changes.
I am no longer pre-diabetic. My A1C dropped to 5.3. My blood pressure is 125/75, and so I'm getting into that territory where I want to be.
By March, the COVID-19 pandemic caused all of our participants to pivot plans.
I'm gonna need every last person to give me hopefully a word of encouragement or something, because there's gonna be a time when I know that you're just really gonna feel defeated or just not really feel like you wanna finish it.
Still, they powered through. Now they're ready to reveal how much their hard work has paid off. Here's where they started and where they are now.
Let's switch to a double.
Teresa is down 11 pounds. She says she has more energy and her blood pressure is back within a normal range. Orlando has dropped a total of 26 pounds since starting District Climb. His blood pressure now consistent and normal, and according to his doctor, he's no longer pre-diabetic. A bonus, he says his sleep has improved too. Lauren lost 14 pounds. She says she has more energy and less sweet and salty food cravings. And DJLC shed a whopping 20 pounds. His clothes are loose. He says he has more energy and is definitely bringing sexy back. He had it to begin with. Fridays are usually my day to check in with DJLC. I wish I could give him a huge hug, especially today. It was particular. All 4 of our participants have still been working out at home, and join the Fitter Together group. Cheer them on. Tell them to keep going. If you need motivation, they're there for you as well. I'm going to hop on a Zoom call with them at about 8 o'clock this morning, and I will post that for you on my Facebook page so you can leave your comments there for them as well. I know they would appreciate it.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I am so proud of you guys. For sure, hands down, you have had it the hardest out of any Fitter Together group. We haven't had access to gyms for a month almost now, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
So you've just been having to wing it. But then when I saw the final reveal, the before and after pictures, the numbers, the blood pressure drops, the no more pre-diabetes, I mean, all this stuff, the loose fitting clothes, I was just thrilled, and I get goosebumps every time, but this time especially. So just wanted to say, first of all, thank you guys for continuing to push through despite the craziness that, has affected all of us. So first of all, Teresa, I'll start with you because you're moving, you're a mom, kids, you're making it happen. And then what happened in the last 4 weeks for you? How did you keep going?
Oh my gosh. It was very hard. I'm not even going to lie about that. Very, very hard. And I didn't honestly get to work out as much as I wanted to. But I did what I could when I could, because we were moving and I have 3 small children, and it was crazy, and we couldn't really go anywhere, couldn't really do anything. especially not wanting to take my kids anywhere with me. They just stayed home like the entire time because, you know, you just don't want, they touch everything and you can't stop it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just, you know, I just did what I could. Some nights I had to stay up really, really late. I tried doing stuff in the morning and sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. And you just had to just do what I could when I could make it happen.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
Lauren, I know that, you know, you're also a mom, you're still working, you got a lot going on too. How were you able to either still work out, or did you have to adjust all the food options? Because I know you've been working so hard to make your own food.
Yeah, so that's something that I put in the answers to the questions was I'd just try to like stay away from the pantry. And then like make food at home, which obviously is easier now since everything's closed. And then we just moved as well last week. So I just like threw out all the junk. I was like, there's no junk that we're bringing with us. We're going to have healthy options. I'd try to adjust, like when Nixon was sleeping, try to do like an at-home workout or go outside, walk in the backyard, do stuff outside, but just try to be like mindful of what I was doing during the day. But yeah, it was totally a challenge, even more towards the end.
Yeah, I know, because you guys were going to classes a lot and then meeting up with those personal trainers. And Orlando, I know that you have a VersaClimber at home. Have you actually been using that?
It's a little bit easier when it's sitting right next to you. You don't have an excuse. You can't say, well, I can't go to the gym. But I've been doing that, but also just wanting to get outside. Like, this is our springtime and I have a bicycle. Even if I just go a couple miles, ride around just to get outside, get some fresh air. I've been doing that a lot as well. So I've probably been climbing maybe once or twice a week, getting out on the bicycle and then doing a lot of the floor exercises that they taught me at Larry North. So not as much as an intense, but still consistent. And I've been eating real well. I live in a really interesting little building down in Deep Ellum, and there's only 11 units in the building. It's sort of an oddity down here, and there's only literally 4 people in the building at any given time, and so all of the neighbors are cooking food and we're giving each other, here, I made some chicken last night, or here's a little bit of steak, and so we've been like just working together to eat healthy and not overeat too, eat small meals. Been working from the house, which is normal for me. I've done it for the last 3 years. So when they sent us all home, it was just, okay, I'll just set the desk up again. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, I mean, my refrigerator's me too. So I totally feel it. For the first like week or so that I was working from home, there was nothing to grab. So I felt like I wasn't eating at all, which is also not the point. Right. But then once that and the pantry were full, I was like, oh my gosh, like eating all the time. So DJLC, tell me how it's been going for you. Because a lot of people have been asking me about you because they're used to seeing you with us on Fridays in the studio.
You know what? Actually, Fridays was kind of my little self-check because I knew I would see you. So I knew I had to like, you know, I couldn't slip off because I'm like, I'm gonna see Sonya Friday. So I gotta stay on it. It's been pretty tough because especially when the gym's closed, because you try to get into that habit of going. That was my main thing, was getting into the habit of going to the gym. And then when I couldn't go, it's like, oh well. But fortunately, the eating, I maintained the good eating, and I haven't been able to, or I wasn't working out like I was, but I've kind of gotten back on that wagon. Fortunately, the eating is what sustained me to not gain it all back and kind of maintain where I was at. But now I'm getting I want to work on definition now. But like I said, looking at my man O and Lauren and Teresa getting it, I'm like, okay, all right, let me.
You had no option. Yeah. You're like, who would have thought out of you guys, right? Who would have thought that you would have been jonesing to go back to the gym so hard, right?
Yeah, that's for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good point though. You get into that habit of going to the gym, and once you're there, you're not there to have coffee. You're not there to have breakfast. There's only one thing to do when you get there. So it's a good point, LC.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like with if it's not a distraction. I know like Lauren and myself with children, we won't when we go to the gym, we don't have that distraction and we don't have to worry about, oh, what are they doing or what are they getting into? Like it's complete focus on our goal and not having that was definitely hard to figure out how to like what do I do now? Like how do I get some of the same results that I've been wanting at home by myself without somebody yelling at me.
Yeah. So it's that external motivation too. Like, and that's the thing with, I think, the situation we're all in these days is you realize that that drive, that discipline has to come from you. Like, no matter what. We do rely on our coaches and our fitness instructors and our trainers so much to at least get us there, and then to push us through. But then now it's like, ooh, when left to yourself, like, how do you show up for yourself? What have some of you guys been doing at home? Have you been doing online workouts or like just stuff that the trainers taught you or doing stuff outside?
I've been definitely April from Larry North was my personal trainer, and she set me up with like basically like a program at home. And so I was doing that whenever I could. It was harder when we moved, trying to get everything adjusted and stuff. But before that, I was doing it every time when I can. Just like whenever I could, like at night or in the morning.
It's like body weight exercises, push-ups, or stuff like that.
Yeah, and with a little bit of weight because I have a little bit of free weight too. So yeah, but mainly just body stuff. So
yeah. Lauren, what about you?
Yeah, something similar. I have a couple of online little workouts that I'd alternate through. I have some smaller weights and resistance bands. So just doing that when I can, whenever Nixon's asleep, and then sometimes just going out into the backyard, like I said, and we'll do like lunges, and he can do that with me because he'll just run back and forth. So just trying to make time.
So I'm curious to know, were any of y'all surprised by your end result? Like how much of a difference 12 weeks of commitment could actually, like how much you could change in 12 weeks? DJLC, I'm curious to know what you think about that first.
Yes, I was surprised, but also too, I felt like I really could have even gone even harder. Like I was like, man, I could have gone more, or I could have, worked out longer, or I wish I hadn't have kind of fell off towards the end there because I was on such a good roll. But I will say a shout out to everybody at Larry North. They were incredible. My personal trainer was Susan, and she gave me some things to do too that I could do on my own. She was incredible. Some things I could do on my own, and especially here at home. And so the biggest thing for me was home was kind of a refuge for me to just come home and chill. That's the reason why going to the gym was so important. Whenever I came home from work, it was like, I'm out, I'm done.
Right.
And I had to get into that realization of, no, home is where it's at. There is no gym. You have to do this here. And that's what I'm grasping now. So after 12 weeks of encouragement, of seeing Sonia, of seeing the trainers, of watching my team, it has definitely pushed me to kind of, and motivated me, inspired me to stay on track. And yeah, I'm kind of glad to be where I'm at and somewhat surprised, but like I said, I'm still hungry. I feel like okay, that was phase 1. I need to accelerate to phase 2.
Yeah, that's good. That's the whole point, you guys. This isn't like a 12 weeks and you're done, right? I mean, as we've seen, well, Orlando's the perfect example, honestly, because those before and after pictures of you blew my mind. Not just in the 12 weeks, but you committed to climbing really for years at this point, I think,
Yeah.
right? And
yeah, well, I've been,
your health from
this is my third climber that I've owned, and I joined District Climb a year ago next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, I missed the original location.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do, but and LC, you said it. You hit the nail on the head. It's about a pivot to making it part of your lifestyle. And when you don't do it, you feel like you've missed something. So if we miss a meal, we feel hungry. If we miss a workout, we should feel hungry. So even if you did 20 minutes, when we get off the call, I'm going to jump on the bicycle and go put a mile or two in just to get the blood going. And you know, you hit the ground running in the morning. A lot of people come into work and they're all tired and yawning and stuff. And when you're exercising in the morning, you get there and quite frankly grabbing the world by the ass, you know. And that's how I feel when I get into the office. But and that's the thing, floor exercises, there's a million things you can do. I follow, there's a guy out of Florida, I'm going to mess up his name, Chris Heria, Heria, and Chris is one of those natural body weight exercises, and he does a lot of muscle ups and things like that. He does stuff that I can't do, but you can do some of the things that they do. You just can't do them as well. So there's a whole lot of things that you can do just on the floor. You can do planks, you can do sit-ups, you can do push-ups.
And it's so funny to hear you say all that because, and everyone's like, yeah, but you for probably, let's just say a year ago, if I were to give you those options, you'd have been like, I don't want to do sit-ups and push-ups and planks at home. Are you crazy? You know what I mean? So it is a shift in your mindset, and especially Orlando, I want to chat for a second about your numbers, the fact that you're no longer pre-diabetic,
Right.
the fact that your blood pressure is now back under control. And Teresa too, you had mentioned your blood pressure back under control. How does that sit with you guys? Are those conversations that you and your family are having, you and your doctors? And just knowing that, do you feel like you have control over your life again?
Teresa, you want to go?
Yeah, I actually haven't been able to get back to my doctor just yet, so I'm excited for when I do. But before I was feeling like lightheaded and dizzy from high blood pressure, and I didn't realize it at the time until one night I was telling my husband, I was like, can you go get the blood pressure cuff? Let me check it. And just randomly, and it started to skyrocket. It was like 170 or something. And I was like, this is
Wow.
not normal. Being in bed, getting ready to go to sleep at night, and it being 170 something. So, and eventually I ended up in the ER because it was at 200. And
Wow.
don't understand why. I was already, it was already after I've had my last son, and he was almost 1 year old. And I was like, this is weird. And I've never had blood pressure issues. Even while pregnant, I was always good. And it just was totally different. But when started exercising, started eating right, and night and day difference, just by doing that alone, night and day difference. And so for it to be now,
Yeah, I was going to say it's interesting, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no,
what you just mentioned, that the fact that you had high blood pressure about a year after your son was born, Black women have a disproportionate number of heart events within the year after a child is born. So, I've studied a little bit about the maternal mortality rates here and sort of what can happen to women post childbirth. And, it is alarming. And I think that probably happens to more Black women, especially, than like we hear about or than we talk about, but it is being researched among the top cardiologists in the country. And I think it's a really important point to make. And it's a good thing that you went to the ER when you did.
Yeah. I was supposed to actually get a heart echo that day, because they heard my doctor heard a heart murmur, and so he's like, let's get that checked out. And when I went, it was high, and they were like, you need to go to the ER. It was 190 when I was at the heart echo place, and then I went to the ER, and then I really wasn't feeling good, And then they checked it again, it was at 200. And I was like, what is happening? Like, it was just crazy. Because like I
Wow.
said, I've never really experienced that a lot before. So it looks like it's going to cut us off. Anyway.
And then Orlando, the fact that you're now no longer pre-diabetic, how does that shift sort of where you were and where you are now?
Well, my mom is diabetic, and we have to administer insulin to her twice a day minimum. And, you know, you look at that, and she's tied to that, right? She's 89 as well. I mean, you saw the video, right? But she gets on the bicycle at least once a day, and it just cracks me up. I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it too, right? But she's not going to be able to pivot out of it. She's pretty much, a diabetic woman with other complications. Right now, my brother's the only one that's allowed to see her because of COVID and everything, and so that's I'll put an additional strain on my brother and his family. But as far as me, when I was diagnosed with being pre-diabetic, that was the switch that went off in my mind. I mean, yes, I gained the weight. Yes, I wasn't exercising right or at all. And then when they told me that, that movie went off in my head. Oh my goodness, I'm going to end up like mom, you know. Well, if I live to be 89, it won't be a bad life either. But at the end of the day, I said, I got to do something about this. So that was the switch that flipped that said, you need to do something, Orlando. You need to exercise. You need to eat right. And walking back into the doctor's office when she redid the numbers, the weight loss and I don't notice the pictures as much as you guys do.
Oh, you need to look at them again then.
I what I notice when I when I open up the closet and I go to put on my favorite pair of shorts from last summer and they don't fit, they fall off of me, and I go, damn, this is going to cost me a lot of money to get all of those clothes tailored. But
I mean, I just think it's fantastic. And you're right. It's not just about the outside. It's about the inside. I mean, let's be honest, it's a little bit about the outside too, right? You guys have like sort of a final thought for people who are watching this or who will watch this and are just like, I have no idea where to start, or I don't have the motivation or the energy, especially right now, without a gym, without a trainer, without help. And then also like for you, so like what's your message to other people? And then also for you, what are your plans now going forward? Let's just say the next 12 weeks. And Lauren, we'll start with you.
A big takeaway for me, one was I didn't realize, like when I saw my side profile picture, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize, like, number one, I was that big in the first place, but that I had that much progress even with this COVID craziness.
It's awesome.
And so anyone can do it. It doesn't matter where you are, what walk of life. If you work, if you have kids, you can do it. It helped boost my mood. Like, I just feel like I'm just happier. I have more energy throughout the day, which ultimately that's helped me long term because I want to keep that going, But yeah, anyone can do it. I mean, it's not, once you start going, it's like you just want to go all the time. Like, I'd see Teresa in the gym and I'm like, okay, and then Orlando too. And I'm like, okay, I got to keep going. We got to go because they're going and they're trying and they have crazy lives. So I need to keep going. So finding a group that you can have like accountability with, and then just like you owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself. So I don't know. I'm a believer.
Did the Fitter Together group help you to keep that accountability? Yeah.
Yeah. And having a trainer who's like, okay, what did you eat yesterday? And you're like, you have to tell them. But yeah, the Facebook group, I'm like, oh man, I have to post something in there. I need it. Cause there's people that are like, okay, guys, I need motivation. What can I do today? So I don't know. I loved it. I told Brianna, I was like, I want to do it again.
Good. I love that. All right, Teresa, what about you?
Oh man. Yeah. This whole thing was insane for me. Like we, just a little bit about my story. My middle son was just diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So adding that in the mix of everything was a lot. And then I realized too, like I have to better myself because I want to be the best I could be to help him and to help advocate for him too. And being tired all the time with 3 kids, like I was like, no, I can't have that anymore. Like I have to have energy. And my husband even was saying, like when I started this, he's like, you have way more energy. And I'm like, yes, because I needed it, you know, just like dealing with everything and trying to figure out everything, because it's like we're walking through a new thing of the unknown, obviously with this virus stuff going on, but with his autism too, like we don't know anything about that and we're learning. And so it's just a lot of stuff. So this challenge, it helped me so much to just focus, and knowing that I can really focus on my fitness, and showing me basically that how to focus on my son. And that sounds kind of weird, but when you have 3 kids, just to individually be able to focus on all those things, like learning that through this fitness challenge, because I get to focus on bettering myself. I'm bettering my whole family.
Yeah.
If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Exactly.
So
reason to keep it up.
yes,
Right.
yeah. So it's been like
How you find more time, even though we're all so busy, right? When you
oh
find
my gosh,
time for
you
yourself,
have to.
like
Yeah.
you will actually find it. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
Carve
yeah.
it and stay on.
Even if it's in 15-minute spurts, and that's what I had to learn too. Like,
Mhm.
oh, let me try to do planks, like 3 sets of, planks for however long. And then one of my kids comes in, or one of them wakes up, you're like, okay, I got to stop there because I have to tend to my child. And then when I have another time that I can just do lunges or put a kid on my back and do lunges, then do it. Like, you just have to figure that out, And so this challenge definitely helped me do that, because I'm like, I want to work out, and you just got to fit it in when you can and be okay with, even if it's in small spurts throughout the day.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to look at it. Doing something is better than doing nothing, right?
Yeah, that's a good message. And Orlando, where are you going to take this from here?
Just continue. It feels great. I think for me, before I started, even before the program started, I bent over one day and I was tying my shoes and I was short of breath. And I said, this is just not right. This is just, I'm 58, right? Or at that point I was 57. I go, this is just unacceptable. And I just started then. And so for now, it's about just being able to continue and have the consistency and to do something. It's a beautiful thing when you ask your body to do something for you, whether it's run, ride a bike, do gardening and chores. If you need, excuse me, to move a piece of furniture or whatever it is, to be able to ask your body to do something for you and your body delivers, to me, that's a lifelong message. Just to be able to do those things and, everyday things is what I'm getting at. And to be able to do that easily, because still I'm going to be 59 this year and I have no plans on slowing down. I have the climber here. I have my bicycle. I'm doing the floor exercises. I got the TRX. Matter of fact, it's right here at my desk. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, we can.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll sit on conference calls and, stretch and do the TRX. It's hilarious. And,
That's
people will go,
awesome.
what are you doing? I go, I'm exercising.
Don't worry about it. Well, I'm super proud of you for making the shift and for sticking with it. And we'll wrap things up with DJLC. I got to know, what's your message for folks? You can, I hope that DJLC, you and I have ended this love-hate relationship. So now it's like a love-love relationship.
Yeah, we definitely have. And it was always all love. It's just that during this process, when I would see Sonya, I'd be like, I'd have this look on my face. I wish you go check me.
Let's
But
just be clear. You have to be part of this.
honestly, it was all good though. And And you know what, for me, because son, you've done a few of these challenges. You had done a few of these challenges already. And it came time to where I was like, you know what? I need to be a part of that, because I saw how the other people were affected who were in those challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I need to be a part of that, because not only will she hold me accountable, trainers, the team, and I got to give a shout out to the viewers. You know, that's also and my daughter as well. Just a support group all around. There's so many people on the Fitter challenge on the page. It's not even on the team who chime in and give excellent tips on food and workouts and stuff like that. So it's, how they say, it takes a village. I just want to give a shout out to everybody. But I will say this, as Lauren said and Orlando said, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what kind of shape you're in. If you need to lose weight, I know my man Greg Fields is talking about getting in the next one. And it's not that he needs to lose weight, but you want to get in shape.
Yeah.
And for me, I wanted to go to the doctor before finale to see my numbers, because I know that they're better. And I wasn't able to, because now is not the right time to go to the doctor and be like, hey, in the midst of all this, can you check my number? You know, so we hold off on that. But you can feel the difference. I can feel it in the energy. I can feel it in just how you feel. And a lot of that has to do with the challenge. So I encourage anybody, you got to be in it to win it. And I mean, you have to get started. That's all you got to do, is get started. And trust me, I'm still on the journey. I am still on the journey. And I fell off too. I'm human. I ain't going to, COVID-19 got me as far as cutting out the gym, but hey, I'm getting back in track, and I'm excited about it. And hopefully there's people out there who might see any four of us and feel like, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it too. Because trust me, you can. I promise you that.
Boom.
No doubt. And you're going to keep going. I have no doubt. And something that, you know, DJLC, we talked about with you at the very beginning was the gym schedule was hectic for you, but you said, I'm really going to focus on the food. And you do have control over what you put in your mouth. Like, I don't care who else is eating with you. I don't care where you go. And right now I was thinking, honestly, the fact that I can't go out to eat. I mean, I've been getting takeout, but I haven't even had any alcohol because I don't keep any in my house. And there's no happy hours happening, right? There's no overeating because you're not at a restaurant, like downing chips and salsa along with your meal or whatever. That may have helped, but yeah, that point about having control over your food, even if you're not working out as hard or as long as you're used to, certainly helps. And, you know, just a final point, like, we've been hearing about underlying health conditions so much lately, right? And when it comes down to it, people with diabetes and heart disease have been impacted and affected, not just with regard to COVID-19, but when you have these underlying health issues, it affects so many different facets of your life. And so this is more than just a fitness challenge to be like, okay, I lost 20 pounds and now I'm done, right? This is really stepping into a new phase of your life. And I commend you guys, and I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all look great. I will be here for you and continue to help you in whatever ways that you want. And I hope that you'll stay a part of the Fitter Together group and family and help me to motivate others. And hopefully we'll get to kick off another round of this soon. I have no idea when that'll be, but
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. And our thanks to Tamara and to all the trainers at Larry North as well.
A shout out to you too, Sonia, because this is your baby, and you, like I said, you not only talk the talk, but you walk the walk. So a big shout out to you and this entire team, and you guys rock for real.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. It's Friday.
Yeah.
So let me know if you need anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'll literally be around.
Right.
Same.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
you guys take care.
Bye.
Thanks.